From the Tickscape Studios, let's f***ing go.
Good morning, and the emphasis on the morning part as LFG back on the airwaves after taking last week off for the Independence Day holiday. We've been doing the show mostly on Thursdays once a week, but today we are moving it to a Wednesday, and it's going to be an abbreviated version because a lot of conflicts in the schedules coming up the next couple of days, and Matt Fowler needed to be done early today. And Coz, you're
Blame
just
it on Matt.
Yeah,
Blame it on Matt.
Well, he's got to get.
I was ready to do 4 hours. I could have done 4 hours.
He's got to get off to the airport.
You cannot do 4 hours. Well,
Why? What are you doing? What is at the airport that is more important than this fine program?
Well, I will agree that most things would not be more important than this program, but I have a trip that I scheduled with my friend who's flying in from Minnesota, and we are going to 5 Giants games in 5 days. So.
Wow, the old 5 and 5, the 5x5. That's like an in and out. You ever get a 5x5 at In and Out?
No, but I guarantee we will because he definitely wants to go to In and Out. He has this thing now, Dave. You might know. There's this war between Culver's and In and Out, in terms of which is better. He's a Culver's guy. I told him that's blasphemy.
I'll tell you something. I'll tell you, you have not had Culver's enough, then, brother. I'll tell you, Culver's is you can go back to Culver's. In and Out, I'm good every 6 months. That's plenty good.
All right. Well, I don't know about any of that, but I do want to introduce us. Dave Benz, Jim Kozimor, Matt Fowler, and Bisa, our fantastic associate producer, has joined in as well. And thanks to Bisa and Matt for getting up early. And Koz, I know this put a little bit of an adjustment onto your schedule as well. So, but yeah, I'm guessing you're going to be happy to be done a little bit earlier today, not going into the afternoon.
Do I look yoked? I was at the gym. I got to the gym early today, so do I look yoked for the show?
Swole. Hell is swole.
What was the Jim Kozimor workout today?
Today was it was weights. I try to get them in every other day during the week. 3 times a week is what I try, and I switch between upper and lower body. So I'll do a bench press, then I'll go right to the leg. Like I'll do a set, then I'll do a quick set of leg press, and I'll go back and forth, and I'll do 3 of each. And then I'll do another upper body with a lower body. So I'm continuously working a different part of my body. I don't take any time off between reps. And so I'll do an upper-lower combination platter. And did that for an hour and I rode the bike there, ride the bike back, and I'm geared up and ready to go. Now I'm protein loading right now with my protein oatmeal here. That's a workout, boys. That's a workout.
Protein loading with oatmeal. Take note, people.
I do use the protein powder, a little protein powder, and some Greek yogurt, which will give you the extra protein. Just a little tip for you people at home. Little raw nuts in there as well. No sugar.
All this is code for steroids.
Exactly.
Really?
Coz
is on the juice?
Yeah. It's all just steroids.
Yeah. Hey, did you, Coz, I don't know if you watched, and we avoid talking politics too much on the show, but the one thing that was hilarious was after the debate, Jon Stewart. I watched
the debate was hilarious.
He did a live special, and he was talking about the juice, and he was talking about that maybe both Trump and Biden should be on the juice, and
I agree.
He's like, listen,
totally agree.
If there's anything you could do to make yourself run the world better, like nobody's gonna be like, oh, I solved the Middle East crisis, yeah, but he was on the juice, so there's an asterisk on that.
Yeah, I know. I think everyone should be. Aren't they starting the Olympic Games? Or not the Olympics? Obviously, it's a different version of competition where they're allowing the competitors to be on some semblance of performance enhancers. I think somebody started that.
I don't know about that, but I do know that some kudos are in order for Mr. Kozimor. Koz, I saw the Olympic roster get released, and once again, Jim Kozimor is going to be the voice of Olympic badminton.
Yep, snuck my way on that list again. I didn't even see the list, so I'm glad you saw the list. I'm glad that I did make the list now. It is confirmed, and so I will be geared up for my 7th Olympic Games. This will be exciting. I started doing the homework over the weekend, watching the Canada Open Badminton Championships. I know many of you probably watched those as well. If you'd like to go over that, you can join us. What's the phone number, Matt? Throw out the number. Some people might want to talk about women's doubles badminton.
It is. I have to check.
I think they just need to email the show, lfgradioshow@gmail.com.
Listen,
Yeah.
Or hit Beast up on the Twitter channel.
Listen, the number has been a little bit of a work in progress. So just email the show.
What does it matter with people?
Yeah, but I just do want to know, Coach, who are the favorites? Give us the breakdown. Who's the
You know-
favorites for the badminton championships?
Here's one thing that you can always go with is in the years that badminton has been in the Olympics. Let's say there are 30 gold medals that have been won. Actually, let's say there are 60 gold medals that have been won. China has won more than half the gold medals in this event. All the other nations combined, adding their gold medals together, fall short of what China does. So anytime you talk about that sport, you got to talk about the Chinese being the leaders at the turn. But in the individual game, the Danes are very good. Denmark has 2 competitors who could very well medal in this year's Olympic Games.
So there are singles. There's badminton. Singles.
And this is one of the first sports that was a mixed gender sport, men and women competing together. This is one of the first ones that ever happened in the Olympic Games. So it was groundbreaking in that form. There is men's singles, women's singles, men's doubles, women's doubles, which, by the way, are incredible to watch. And then there's mixed doubles as well. So there are 5 disciplines where they will give out gold, silver, and bronze. And the doubles competition is fantastic. And I will tell you this, and we talk about pickleball on this program. Some people would argue too much, but we love talking about it. If you like pickleball, you should watch badminton because you will see some similarities and some differences. Badminton makes pickleball look slow. That's how fast the game is.
Oh, I've seen the badminton. So,
Yeah.
badminton.
I know. The second N, right? The second N is a pain. We're the only country that doesn't pronounce the second N, and my partner's trying to get me to use the second N because every other country does, so I hate that. But go ahead.
I think I always say badminton.
I say badminton. I don't use the second N.
Yeah, that's it. Badminton. Yeah.
By the way, speaking of Olympic sports, I just looked up the humorous different sports that are in the Olympics that are maybe a little bit more obscure, and I have
a new favorite.
It's pretty funny. You want me to start going down the list?
You know it'd be good, Matt. Okay, this will be a good bit. You need to come up with a list of 5 Olympic sports and mix in a handful, maybe make it like 7. 7 Olympic sports, mix in a handful that are not Olympic sports, and make it a mix. Yes or no? We got to say yes or no. It's an Olympic sport.
Not Olympic sports, as in it has never been an Olympic sport.
No, as in it's not in
currently?
this year.
Yeah, you're just trying to fool us. Is it an Olympic sport or is it not?
Is it an Olympic sport this year? Will it be an Olympic sport? So that's your
you
homework.
can say pickleball is pickleball.
And if you can't handle it, then while you're producing, then we can have Bisa jumping in and do that.
I'll do it. I got it.
Okay, so is it an Olympic sport for today? And we will do that coming up in a little bit. We also are going to have an ordinary calls today. We will have a mailbag segment today, so a lot to get to in that regard. And it's a by the way, the one piece of news, and I know we're probably going to we may have something of this in the mailbag coming up later on, but I'm just going to put it out there. Did you guys catch the big news that came out? This is not sports related at all. But it's Earth related, and it could be a problem. Did you guys catch the news that NASA put out about 2 weeks ago that
the Earth's core has begun spinning in reverse?
No, not that one. That one is.
I didn't see that, Matt. I did see that, Matt.
Yeah, that's happening too.
Yeah, but that one doesn't really. We don't really know how many times that's happened or how that's going to affect things. That's an unknown thing. But NASA did put out 2 weeks ago. Did you guys see about the asteroid for 2038?
No, are we all doomed in 2038?
Nobody saw this, and I'm like shocked by it. I'm shocked how low key it was because, guys, this is potentially a big deal. This is potentially a big deal. NASA.
Is this the SMOD? Sweet
smog.
meteor of death? Is this the real thing? The sweet meteor of death?
Well, yeah, I don't know if it's quite that, or they're not saying that it's that. But what they did say, they released like 2 weeks ago that they have found an asteroid or possibly a cluster of asteroids that in 2038 have a 72% probability of impacting Earth. Which, usually when you hear those things come out, it's like, oh, it's got like a, 0.2% chance or a 2% chance. 72% chance is pretty damn high. And apparently they discovered it
Matt would bet on that. You know what? He wanted to miss. Hey, Matt, use that as part of your parlay. And put that in your parlay, and I can guarantee it misses us by a country mile.
Wait. I'm so conflicted because if my parlay hits, everybody's dead. But then my parlay hits.
Your parlay won't hit.
See?
That's the point. Your parlay won't hit.
I know. I don't think I have to worry about that hitting.
Sure. By the way, what are we doing about sandwiches here? What was the count? You're up to 20 with Coase.
I don't know.
I know. Bisa won me some
27
sandwiches.
or is it 27? I think you're up to 27.
I don't think it's 27. I got to go to sandwich rehab. I don't know what
you owe Coase 27 sandwiches. You owe me 9 sandwiches.
Dude, I am going to get
What
that.
are we doing here? What are we doing about sandwiches?
Yeah, we do. You know what? I'll tell you what. Let's do a show where legitimately I will order a sandwich on the air and have it delivered.
Matt did say, I don't know if you saw in the group chat, Matt did say he'd be willing to pay off the debt by paying for you and your lovely wife to go have a nice steak dinner somewhere.
Really?
Yeah, I did.
We would do that. You know what? I'll tell you what. And I'll make this easy on you. There's a Cork and Cow, Franklin, Tennessee. I will take my lovely bride, Sandra, there. And what we normally do, and we go Sunday night, half-price bottle of wine night. So I'm not going to jam you on that. We always get a cheap bottle. We're not wealthy people. And then we'll split a big steak. How about that?
Okay, yeah. And just send me the name of the restaurant, and I can.
Sure.
I'll get you.
I'll send you the bill. I'll pay for it, and then I'll take a picture of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. We do that. By the way, news on the asteroid. This is according to 10 News, and I don't know where 10 News is, but it seems like a legitimate.
I think 10 News is Australia. Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, this whole thing about the asteroid is fiction, according to that.
The report I saw came from NASA, so I don't know what the
NASA released news in late June saying there's no known significant asteroid threats to Earth in the foreseeable future. Yeah.
Interesting.
That's according to Snopes.
Okay. All right.
Snopes is an interesting site. They are the great. What are they? They're the great debunker of things. Have you been to Snopes.com? Yeah, so if you see something in the news and you question it, go to Snopes.com and they usually come up with that's true, or no, that's not happening.
Yeah.
So Snopes, that's Snopes' site.
Look at us. Look, Dave, you're scaring everybody. The world's going to end in 2038.
I didn't say the world's going to end. I just said it's the fact
it's a 72% chance
that came out that there was an asteroid that was going to impact the Earth.
Start buying your toilet paper now, people. Okay. All right. We already did this in 2020. It was a dress rehearsal for 2038. Let's go.
No, I think we did it in 1999 when they were going to roll over all those computers and that was going to screw everything up.
Hey,
was that the first run?
So Coase, what do you let's get into some sports talk here since it's supposed to be a sports talk show. This is an interesting time of year, right? You got the baseball All-Star game coming up, the Olympics are coming up, and then NFL training camps are going to open, and then not far behind that will be college football. We'll be getting their training camps going. So but it's a weird time, right? Because it's like you're kind of in this part of the season where baseball is kind of in the spotlight, but it's not close enough to the baseball playoffs that unless you're a diehard, you're really paying much attention. I'm going to ESPN.com and I'm seeing on the front page pretty regularly, headlines that make me just kind of go, and not really biting on anything.
No, I agree. This is a different time of year, and I like to listen to all different types of sports talk. And a lot of sports talk stations are going with the list shows who are the top 5 athletes in Chicago sports history, things like that. They're going back to the old how many wins is your local NFL team going to get, and they go through the schedule one more time. So this is a tough time of year, and this is a difficult time of year, or a different time of year, because there isn't that thing that's just jumping out and everyone's talking about, except if you are in the UK right now or Europe right now, where Euro 2024 is going on, which is sweeping Europe. Everyone is talking about it. It's a massive event. We should have our UK reporter.
The Euro Cup.
Yeah. We should have our UK reporter on the scene, hooking us up.
Hold on. I've got a live report right now.
That's what I like.
Coming in from the UK.
I like that.
And let's hear what's being said out there in the UK about this.
Bitch, stay in this ballgame.
There you go. That's a pretty strong report.
I missed it. I didn't hear it.
We didn't hear it.
Yeah, we didn't hear
Did that
it.
not go out? Really?
No.
No.
Oh God.
Bitch,
Why is that not going
in
out?
this
That's
ballgame.
It's going out on my. That's weird. That's weird that you guys aren't hearing it. Oh, you know what? Maybe I've got the wrong. Hold on one
So
second.
it's such a bit like England is playing today against the Netherlands, and it is such a big deal. I was listening to London Sports Talk Radio this morning when I was working out, and I'm home right now scanning all of the United Kingdom sports television stations trying to find coverage. The match starts at 2 p.m. Central. That would be noon for you guys, 3 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. in the UK. And the way I hear it, I mean, the whole country is shutting down because it's such a big deal for them. So I'd be interested to see what the UK interests are. I get a lot of, like right now I'm watching Wimbledon coverage from English television.
I watched this documentary.
Stay in this ballgame.
Exactly.
Okay, there you go.
Exactly. That has
was the
been
live report.
underappreciated and utilized for a very long time.
Oh, and then I was wondering.
I was watching this documentary on Netflix about the final in London. I forget which year it was.
I saw that. That was a good show, wasn't it?
It was scary, but these
Yeah, it was.
people
It
are
was
insane
spooky.
when it comes to their soccer. They are,
Yep.
or their football. I'm sorry, my uncultured swineness. I'm sorry.
I know. They would jump on you for saying that.
They would, but people died,
Yeah.
and because they all wanted to get into this football game, and they were like, "It holds 60,000 people." No. I don't care. Like we're gonna jump the fences, but of course, actually, this was the COVID year, so there was extra seats, and
Yep.
so, but I mean, there were people literally getting crushed to death,
Breaking
like,
down
trying to get in.
barriers.
and
Yeah.
so I don't know what that says about that sport. I don't know if that's a good thing. I don't think it's a good thing to be that enthused about a sport.
It's crazy. It is absolutely crazy. And so if our UK reporter can at some point between now and the end of the show can just jump in and let us know about the frenzied
Stay
pace
in this ballgame.
that is going on. But you're right, Matt. That was a scary documentary to watch. I watch and I've heard all these things about how wild these fans are, and I've seen craziness. And there have been other documentaries about individual clubs where multitudes of people have passed away. It's actually a storyline for one of the teams. Is it Liverpool?
Sunderland. There's
Is that it? Sunderland.
There's
Sunderland. Just
there's
horrible.
another Netflix thing on Sunderland, and you know what? I was watching that once, and the only thing I saw, and sometimes you only need a little bit of a glimpse to just determine how crazy things are. It was a preseason game for Sunderland. Preseason, ambulances were called, people's faces were bloody. I mean, what are you doing? It's kind of like, we say if you bet on spring training, you have a gambling problem.
Yep.
If you are going ham at a preseason soccer game and breaking people's noses, you got a little bit of a problem.
It's nuts, man. It's like nothing we've ever seen here in the States. I mean, well, Niner games, you could see a lot of that stuff.
Raider games.
They're the most L.A. Raider fans, yes. Oakland Raider fans, no. And I don't even think the Vegas Raiders. I think that's just a mishmash of people flying in from whoever the opponent is. I think you're right on L.A. Raider fan. I don't think I always found Oakland Raider fan to be somewhat charming, somewhat lovable. They would always invite someone over and, hey, you want some barbecue? Or I kind of liked them.
Yeah, but by the way, another kind of underrated, rage-filled Bay Area fan that you don't see too often.
Sharks. Earthquakes.
Well, you would know better than me about about those two, but now it's more vocal. But the Oakland A's fans, man.
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude! So can I tell you?
I think it was when they were playing Detroit, and they did what the A's do. They went up 2-0, and then they gave it up in 5 in the division series. And who was it? It was Miggy Cabrera hit a huge home run in Game 5. I was there, and I'm walking through, and there are people throwing trash cans, and cussing and getting in fights. Granted, it was the game that eliminated them, so I guess I can give them a little bit of slack there. But
Miggy
no, but you shouldn't be doing that. And it seems that everything. And Dave, you were part of the coverage for some of the Giants World Series championships. I know I was doing post game on one of the clinchers, and fans had dumped over one of those enormous garbage cans and set it on fire in the middle of the street. It happens in a lot of these cities, and that's horrible and it's sad.
Well, I have a couple of things. But first of all,
I can't
Miggy
hear Dave.
Cabrera,
Can you?
I've never
Dave,
heard him called
Dave, we can't hear you. Dave, we cannot hear you.
All right, hold on. That's the problem. All right, hold
I
on.
don't know why we're missing on Dave.
Hold on.
Nope.
All right.
Well, I'll tell you.
Okay,
Arcade-
there
All right,
you
the
go.
Matt
You
and
guys-
Jim show.
so
It's
you
finally
guys-
what we've
can you
wanted
guys
for
hear me
years now.
You got me
Yes.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
We got you.
So the problem is that the setting, I can't play the music. I'm going to have to adjust that. I don't know what's going on. I can't play you can either hear my mic or you can hear the music, but you can't hear both, which is weird. No, what I was saying, I got a couple of things there. Miggy Cabrera, I've never heard him referred to as Miggy.
I have.
Never? You've
No,
never heard that?
No, never heard
Really?
referred
Oh,
to
yeah,
as
I've heard that.
Miggy.
Yeah.
And the other thing I was going to say was I happened to be, guys, the other day, I happened to be over in the East Bay driving. So Brendan and I went to Roswell. That's how I spent 4th of July. I was in Roswell shooting an episode of
New Mexico?
Yeah, Roswell, New Mexico for the UFO Museum.
Wow.
For that museum series, I went to the UFO
Sure.
Museum because they have a big event in association with the beginning of July because that's the anniversary of the crash.
Yeah. Allegedly.
So well, no. There's no. We can get into that, but there's no alleged about the crash. That's the one thing everybody agrees on. Real quick though, before I get into that, I landed in Oakland, and when I was driving from the airport back towards Marin, I happened to drive past the Coliseum, and there was an A's game going on. And dude, the cars parked for the swap meet were triple the number of the cars parked for the game. It was really sad. It was really sad.
Yeah, horrible. That's horrible. Anyway, but I gotta ask. So there's no dispute of a crash of a subtype of flying vehicle. Correct?
That is what is undisputed. There's no dispute that there was on July 2nd something that crashed on this whatever his first name was. His last name was Basil.
I can't wait for the episode. I cannot wait for the episode.
It crashed on this guy. His last name was Basil. It crashed on his farm. So the things that are undisputed. There was a crash there was a really bad thunderstorm on the night of July 2nd, and between the middle of thunder booms, there were a lot of people that heard of some kind of noise.
What year was
that
this?
They didn't know
July
what it
2nd.
was.
What?
What?
What year was this?
1947.
Okay.
And it was, by the way, this happened literally a week after the United States detonated its first test atomic bomb.
Really?
Which happened about 90 miles from where the crash was.
Wait, no. You said
was that in
47.
Alamogordo?
No.
Your New Mexican cities.
You
I
said
said
19.
the first test atomic bomb. They dumped the bombs on Japan, but those weren't a test. But then the test bombs in New Mexico.
So they did tests after
Didn't you see
they did that?
Oppenheimer?
Yes, they tested after New Mexico. Yes, or I mean they tested after they dropped in Japan.
After they
dropped into
right.
Japan and
I
the war,
didn't-
and then they did further testing in the late 1940s because they wanted to understand a little bit more of the technology. The
I didn't know
technology
that
was
part.
new, and they just used it to end the war. Probably wasn't the best idea. But yes, it was untested technology.
Oh, this was 47.
So 47.
Well, so this
yes.
was after. Oh, okay.
Yeah, hey, we just killed 150,000 people. Let's see what else that does.
So they tested it, and then a week later, there's this bad thunderstorm in New Mexico, and multiple people heard some kind of bizarre crash, and the guy who owned the farm where it sounded like the noise came from, the next day went out and he found a debris field with all this debris, and all that's undisputed. The guy contacted the local sheriff and said, hey, there's something on my farm. You need to get out here. The sheriff got out there. He's like, we need to contact the Air Force Base. They contacted the Roswell Air Force Base. The Air Force Base came out. They shut down the area, brought a bunch of trucks in, got everything out of there. And that's basically the only part of that story that's undisputed. Everything else from there goes in a million different directions, right? Like the military says, no, it was this. The conspiracy theorists say it was this. The people who were firsthand witnesses who were on their deathbed, that's the thing that I think is the most compelling, Coz, is there's so the UFO Museum, they have witness testimony from, I believe it's about 600 witnesses, and about 200 of them are firsthand witnesses. Most of their testimony is deathbed testimony, where they, were sworn to secrecy and told not to say anything, and told that then their families were threatened, and their well-being was threatened if they opened their mouths. So they kept their mouths shut until they were ready to die. And then they gave testimony. And, listen, you could sit there and say, well, dude.
But what was the testimony? What did they say? Just that there was a thing, or there was
So the biggest testimony is.
Are we up against a break? Do we want to tease this, and then we'll get back to the theory?
Is this teasable? Do we want to tease this? Yeah, we can tease this.
That would make me hang around, because we've all heard these stories of something might have happened. We've got someone who had boots on the ground. You were there. You spoke to the people. I think this is a teasable event. We come back in 5 minutes, get an update, and then we get the low-down. And then, because I've got questions. And when is your special? That's another thing. I got to see this thing.
Well, it's going to be a little while, because we're still behind on.
Because the government's coming after you is what's happening.
You know what? I got a better take, and I will expound on this on the other side of the break. I think that Dave Benz is an alien, actually.
I think he's in on it.
Yep.
Yeah. I think he's reporting for the aliens. That's why he's gonna do the old bait and switch. He's gonna move us away from the real story.
Have you seen Mars Attacks? That's exactly what's gonna happen.
Yeah. All right. Let's take a time out. We'll come back. I'll tell you guys about it when we come back. More LFG. Stay with us.
Whew, you sure gotta climb a lot of steps to get to this Capitol building here in Washington. Well, I wonder who that sad little scrap of paper is.
I'm just a bill, yes, I'm only a bill, and I'm sitting here on Capitol Hill. Well, it's a long, long journey to the capital city. It's a long, long wait while I'm sitting in committee, but I know I'll be a law someday. At least I hope and pray that I will, but today I am still just a bill.
Gee, Bill, you certainly have a lot of patience and courage.
Well, I got this far. When I started, I wasn't even a bill. I was just an idea. Some folks back home decided they wanted a law passed, so they called their local congressman, and he said, "You're right, there ought to be a law." Then he sat down and wrote me out and introduced me to Congress, and I became a bill. And I'll remain a bill until they decide to make me a law. I'm just a bill, yes, I'm only a bill, and I got as far as Capitol Hill. Well, now I'm stuck in committee, and I'll sit here and wait while a few key congressmen discuss and debate whether they should let me be a law. I hope and pray that they will, but today I am still just a bill.
Listen to those congressmen arguing. Is all that discussion and debate about you?
Yeah, I'm one of the lucky ones. Most bills never even get this far. I hope they decide to report on me favorably, otherwise I may die.
Die?
Yeah, die in committee. Oh, but it looks like I'm gonna live. Now I go to the House of Representatives and they vote on me.
If they vote yes, what happens?
Then I go to the Senate and the whole thing starts all over again.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. I'm just a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill. And if they vote for me on Capitol Hill, well, then I'm off to the White House where I'll wait in a line with a lot of other bills for the president to sign. And if he signs me, then I'll be along. How I hope and pray that he will. But today I am still just a bill.
You mean even if the whole Congress says you should be a law, the president can still say no?
Yes, that's called a veto. If the president vetoes me, I have to go back to Congress and they vote on me again, and by that time you're so
By
old.
that time, it's very unlikely that you become a law. It's not easy to become a law, is it?
No, but how I hope and pray that I will. But today I am still just a bill.
He signed your bill. Now you're a law.
Oh, yes.
It's the bottom of the hour, or close enough. Time for your Tickscape Studios Sports Update with Matt Fowler.
We got some NASCAR news. Bubba Wallace was fined $50,000 by NASCAR on Wednesday for his actions after Sunday's street course race in Chicago. Wallace was fined for driving Alex Bowman into the wall during the cooldown lap on Sunday. It was apparently in retaliation for Bowman spinning out Wallace early in the race. NASCAR said Wallace violated its code of conduct. Crazy. For all the latest news, updates, and outtakes, tune in to LFG with Dave Benz, myself, Matt Fowler, Jim Cosmore, and our awesome associate producer, Bisa. Now back to Aliens on LFG.
That's your big update? Bubba Wallace? Bubba Wallace is the big update?
Hey, you know, it's early, man. It's we talked about it. It's early and there's no sports going on, okay? So yeah, some dude driving into another dude. That's the story.
Oh God! All right. Well, yeah. So, well, I guess we got to wait for Coase to come back. He went. Maybe he's out getting another bench press in. He's trying to get yoked. He said. Looks like a pretty nice day out there in Franklin, Tennessee, though. What's the current temperature there in Franklin, Tennessee?
I think he said 80. Hey, and we'll get his opinion on this, but we were talking about all this alien stuff. Do you remember when there was all that buzz about people invading Area 51?
No, not really.
Yeah, there was all this, and Coast probably remembers. He's plugged into all this alien stuff. There was all this rumors that a bunch of people, and there were people saying it too, that they were on a certain date, just a bunch of people were going to show up to Area 51 and storm it, and the government actually had to come out and say, "Don't do that. That's not a good idea." And
well, I do know they have signs all over Area 1 that they say, deadly force has been authorized in this use if you disregard these signs.
Well, yeah, and if you do disregard the signs, by the way, it's an automatic felony. Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
it is. It's automatic. So.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I don't know. All I know is, can you hear the music now finally?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
so
no,
earlier I was trying to play that, and you guys weren't hearing it when Coase was talking about getting his workout on.
Yeah, we're getting physical up in here. Okay.
This is the 2024 remix version.
Yeah. Who sings this? Madonna?
Who sings it? Madonna?
I have no idea who sings
It was
this.
Olivia Newton-John was the original. I don't know. This is the updated remix. So anyway, I had that type called that up for Coase for his workout. But
that's good. I like it. That's you know what, you can't go wrong with that. I have a question though. I'm watching Sky News in Great Britain right now. Their sports. It's like their sports center, and their anchor has on just a pair of jeans and like a green crew neck T-shirt. It's a female, and standing in front of the board talking about the biggest game that's going on in the planet, which is the Euro game with England. What's your stance on?
Wait, so what is he wearing? He's wearing
It's a
Jeans.
woman. Yeah, it's a woman. She's just wearing jeans, like a regular pair of jeans. They got some rips in them. They're not overly fashionable, and a green T-shirt. And she's standing in front of the board reading the sports. Your thoughts on what the presenters look like when they do their job?
I mean, it's. I think we've gotten a lot more lax, right? Like, I mean, the suit and
Yeah.
tie day is pretty much behind
Yeah.
us, for
Yeah.
better or worse. And
Yeah.
I guess it also depends on the person, right? I mean, if she looks appealing, and I'm not even saying she has to look necessarily, attractive, but if she looks
does.
good, if she looks good, then great. If she looks sloppy, then that's a problem. You could look good in a T-shirt and jeans if it's the right T-shirt and jeans, and it's the right fit for you as a person. But if you just look sloppy, like you just got done cleaning out your garage, then that's a problem. I'm guessing she doesn't look like she just got done cleaning out her garage.
No, you know what? I got to be honest. I mean, she's super pretty, but I just think the outfit looks lazy.
Yeah.
And I think you got to respect the audience. Respect the audience, man. That's just my view.
Speaking of outfits and the appropriate thing to wear during certain occasions, I wanted to bounce something off you guys. Now I already have everything packed, so I don't know, how much change I can get. But I will be on Friday. I'm going to say hi to our buddy Corey Provis, the Twins play-by-play guy in the broadcast booth at Oracle Park. I'll be up there.
Name dropper.
It's a great scam. The way he wormed his way in there is
By the way, just
amazing
so you know,
scam.
Matt, everybody that's on the LFG radio show email saw your email chain going back and forth. So we all saw it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, whatever. Okay.
It's a great scam.
Well, so elaborate, Jim. A, but then B, what am I supposed to wear in the press box up at Oracle?
You're just going to say hello. You're not going to be in the press box. You wear whatever you want.
That's what I figured, but
I'd wear nothing but Giants gear going into the Twins.
Where
play-by-play booth.
wear a ton of
Wear an
Giants.
I Love Kruk and Kipe T-shirt.
I think you should wear an alien T-shirt.
Well, yeah, I will say hi to Kruk and Kipe. That's they're nice people, and
go buy a Twins, like your favorite all-time twin, Harmon Killebrew, Rod Carew. Rod Carew is my all-time favorite twin. Huge Rod Carew fan, so I'd wear a number 29 Carew Twins jersey.
Yeah. Coz, what were you saying about Corey getting in?
That was a great scam on your part.
Oh, me? Oh,
yeah.
Well, no, it was not. Hey, I just want to say hi, and there's that. So anyway, Coz, I was telling Jim, see, I can't. It's too early. Coz, I was telling Dave that that I was remembering when. Do you remember when the people were saying that they were going to invade Area 51? A bunch of people.
I do remember that.
See, Dave, I told you.
I do remember that.
You
don't remember that?
I didn't tell you it didn't happen. I just said I don't remember it. You don't say, see, I told you. I didn't dispute it. I just said I didn't.
I can't
All right.
see. I can't see how you wouldn't remember that. And the funniest thing about that, Jim, is that somebody in the White House had to explain to the president, however brief the meeting was, what a Naturo run was. Remember, because that was the thing where there was a special run that was supposed to be able to.
Yeah, but they'd have to explain that to me too. I don't know what a Naturo run is.
Well, right, no, but it was like you put your hands behind your back and you arch your back and you run like parallel to the ceiling. I don't know, but the point is, it's crazy, it's silly, and it's stupid, and somebody still had to relay that information, to the most powerful person on the planet.
That's unbelievable.
And the joke is, like, why would you waste time with that? But the U.S. government had to come and address it and be like, no, that's not a good idea.
All right, we're gonna totally digress, but why would you waste time with this is from the why would you waste time category. And I'm going to tell you the Roswell thing real quick in a second, and then we'll get back to some sports takes.
Olympic sports stuff.
But Coz, what is the lowest denomination of a check that you've ever received in your life?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think I've gotten not residuals, but it was somehow an offshoot of a payment in which they charged me I'm never late with paying things, and then they charged me for a late fee, but I think it was like $1.57. It was something,
I can top it.
What do you got? What do you got? What is this for?
This
That's
is not even actually
$0.12. Dave Penn's. Dude, that's fantastic.
I got a
12-cent
check.
Is that residual? Is that a residual
no,
from a
it's
movie?
it's some kind of a settlement for something to do with some kind of Google kind of Google lawsuit. It showed up.
Literally
it showed up
costs
in the
more
mailbox.
to print the check.
It costs more to
than
print
it's
it
worth.
and mail it than the check is worth. Like
Yeah, but the law firm did fine. Everyone else that gets their 12 cents.
Yes,
you know?
exactly. The law firm did fine.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well, no, see, but Dave, the question is, are you going to go into the branch to cash that?
no, but I will mobile deposit it. I mean, because
Hey, you never know.
The only reason that I'll mobile deposit it is because, like, I feel like most people are going to just laugh at that and rip it up and throw it away.
Yeah.
And that's probably like what, I don't know who gets the money, but if you're sending out, this was something to do with having used Google. And I don't even know how I ended up on this, on this chain. But I'm going to guess they probably sent out tens, if not hundreds of thousands of these checks. And if you've got 100,000 12-cent checks and 50,000 people throw them away, I mean, what's that come out to? That's, $6,000 or something. I mean, I don't know. It's not like huge money, but I mean, why do I want them to have that money? I'll take the 12 cents. So
I agree.
I don't have to drive to the bank or do anything special. I'll do it. Okay, so real quick, I'll tell you the Roswell thing. So I told you that the things that are undisputed, right? There was definitely something crashed. The lineage was the sheriff got called. The sheriff called the Air Force Base. The Air Force Base showed up, and then next thing you know, they bring in a bunch of trucks and they're pulling a bunch of stuff out of there, right? You asked me what the most impressive or convincing witness testimony was that I'm aware of. Obviously, there's been 600 witnesses that have gone on record. I have not, I've not obviously reviewed all of it, but I can tell you the one that stands out according to everybody. And I did talk to a guy who's a quote unquote expert. He's one of the people who did the witness interviews. So there was a guy, he was a major. I'm drawing a blank on his last name because it's too early, but he was the major at the Air Force Base in Roswell, and he was basically their media relations guy. And he's the one, because I think you may know that part of the story is that the Roswell Air Force Base actually put out a press release that said, "We've captured a flying saucer." Like, that actually happened. That an actual official government press release went out from the Roswell Air Force Base that said,
in 1947.
In 1947, that says we've captured a flying saucer. And that went out, and then the major who wrote that press release was ordered to fly to Fort Worth with some of the debris to go have a press conference in Fort Worth it's going up the chain, right?
Yeah.
So he goes to Fort Worth, and that's where the story really starts to diverge, because there's no dispute that this guy flew to Fort Worth and that he took a box of debris with them. What happened next is that he got to the general's office with a box of the debris. And the general said, "Hey, we need to go into the map room. You need to specifically point out on the map where all this was found." And then that's where things get questionable, because what happened officially, they come out of the map room. They said that they were going to have a press conference, and supposedly there's a couple dozen media, which is a lot back in the 1940s. There's a couple, but you got to remember, an official press release had been put out that they had a UFO, so there was a lot of interest in this. So a couple dozen media had showed up at this Air Force Base in Fort Worth, and they're waiting to go in for a press conference, and the Air Force rep comes out and says, "Okay, we're only going to let one reporter and one camera person in, and we're just going to make a statement and let you take a couple of pictures. So it changed from being a press conference to just being basically a controlled photo op and a statement. And the general, so they come out of the map room. The major who'd flown in from Roswell is on the ground holding up a bunch of debris, which is the famous picture that we've all seen of like the guy holding like a foil and a foil piece, and they, say that it was the remnants of a weather balloon. And there's another picture where the general's standing, sitting next to him in one of the pictures. And they said, yeah, we've determined that it was an experimental weather balloon that, that crashed. And here's the debris. And end of story. Thanks for coming. And that
How do you spell debris? How do you spell debris?
Debris. So end of story. Thanks for coming. Well, so what happened? What happened after that or during that is you asked me about
It's
the
a weather
witness
balloon.
testimony.
I agree. It's a weather balloon. Go ahead.
The witness testimony, the guy are you looking at the picture of the guy holding it?
Yeah.
Okay. So the guy who's holding that picture is the major from Roswell. He's the one who put out
Major Marcel.
Right, Major Marcel. He's the one who put out the press release saying they got the UFO. He's from the Roswell Air Force Base, and that picture's in Fort Worth. Major Marcel, so that was 1947. Major Marcel in 1977 was diagnosed with terminal emphysema. Major Marcel in 1977, and I don't know exactly how he put this out there, but he called somebody or was asked, whatever. 1977, he gets diagnosed with terminal emphysema, so he goes on the record and says, I just want the world to know that when I got to the Air Force Base in Fort Worth, the box of debris that I put in the general's office, I put the box of debris in the general's office. We went into the map room to show where the debris had been recovered. When we returned to the general's office, the box that I had brought was gone, and in its place was this debris. Was this weather balloon debris, and I was told to sit there and take pictures with it, and go along with the story. And after everybody left, I was kept in Fort Worth for an extra night. I was told by high-ranking officials never to speak of this again, that in time the story will come out, and I'll be vindicated for having put out that press release in the first place, and just be patient. And I've waited 30 years and I'm about to die, and I've come to realize that the story is never going to come out. And he then went on to say in his statement that he's worked with with all different materials. He's worked with every compound known to man on this planet, and that what was in the debris that he brought to the general's office in Fort Worth was nothing that he had ever seen on this earth.
Wow.
And so there's that's about the biggest testimony that they had. But
that's pretty big.
It's a fascinating story. So
all right. So and you're special on this as part of the Unusual Museum series. Give us the update on that, Dave.
The UFO Museum, yeah. The video game show is almost done. The Mob Museum is almost done, but they're running into some problems with the Mob Museum in editing it because Unicos, when you're putting together a show, you need to have B-roll, which is a technical word or the lingo in the business for basically you're putting clips over when people are talking and somebody's talking about, hey, Al Capone going to jail. You want to have something to show because it's TV. You don't just want to have the person talking about it. And a lot of the B-roll that we're trying to get for the Mob Museum show, there are a lot of copyright issues. So that they're trying to get creative with the editing on that one. The Video Game Museum is almost done, and that one is going to be so super fun. And so then the next thing is going to be trying to edit this thing in Roswell. By the way, I was in Roswell for 4th of July. Can I tell you, I never in my life have I seen a city with more people blowing off their own fireworks. Like there were fireworks displays. It was every other house, and it was crazy. It was crazy.
Oh, Three Fingers Johnson over there down the street blowing off some homemade fireworks.
It was
I love
crazy.
that stuff. I love
Yeah.
it. That's a show.
They
That's a show.
canceled
New
they-
Mexico's an interesting state. I lived there for a while. It was my first job out of college. It was in Silver City, New Mexico. So I know a little bit about Roswell and Alamogordo and Truth or Consequences and all those different tiny towns. I've done games in probably half of them.
Really?
Yeah. It was a lot of fun.
And in all that time, you never saw an alien?
I did not uncover. I saw a lot of strange things that I wanted the government to take a look at, but I did not see any aliens.
Yeah. All right. So Matt, we challenged you. Let's do our little Olympic bit, and then we're gonna come back with we'll break and we'll come back with ordinary calls in the mailbag. But Matt, we asked you. So the Olympics are coming up. Coase is doing badminton for the 7th. Well, this will be a 7th Olympics. I know you've got some Winter Olympics mixed in there as well.
Yeah.
So Coase will be doing badminton, and
Doesn't
from
it sound like
Stamford,
you have a
Connecticut.
speech impediment when you say it with the N? Badminton. It sounds to me
does.
like I have a problem.
It does.
I just try to do it. I try to visualize myself as being the great, the legendary. I'm drawing a blank on his name. PA announcer at Yankee Stadium all those years. He
Oh, I know who you're
pronounced
talking about.
every letter.
Yes.
Bob
Number
something.
2, Derek Jeter, number 2.
Yeah, but he would pronounce the names. Anyway, okay. So Matt, our bit is it?
We should point out, just to be fair, we should point out, Dave is an Olympic announcer as well, and he's too humble to say it.
Yes.
But not only is he an Olympic announcer, he had the most difficult assignment of anyone at the Olympics the year he did the Olympics. So let's not overlook Dave's experience as an Olympian. So.
Well, you're very kind.
You did have the most difficult because you had fencing and wrestling and anything that.
No, I had fencing,
it was like the
synchronized
swing.
swimming. I had fencing, synchronized swimming, and
Yeah.
and modern pentathlon.
That's it. And you had. Do you know they changed the name of synchronized swimming? It's now a different name sport.
Is it? I was wondering what happened to it. So what is it called now?
It is. I don't know. It is something else other than synchronized swimming. It is amazing. The women who are involved in synchronized swimming, they are like our greatest Marines. They're that fit. It's insane what they can do. So
Well,
it's a beautiful sport.
I always tell people that if I could do any sport again, Coase, I would definitely do synchronized swimming. Would be the top of my list because as an announcer, it's the easiest sport that I have ever had to
Look
call
at you
in
trying
my
to get
life.
an easy paycheck. Look at you.
It was so.
Aren't we all? It's. By the way, I know what it's called. It's artistic swimming now.
Yes. Yeah.
It's called
Artistic
artistic swimming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Because it's not all. Yeah, I don't know. Everyone's got to change a name of something. Go for it. Artistic swimming. You know that, I guess, because all you do is say, here come the Spanish team, and then you get out of the way and let the analyst explain what's going on.
That's exactly it. You just.
I'm trying to figure out what the offensive thing was between the words synchronized and artistic. Like,
Yeah.
what, and because clearly there's some sort. I mean, I guess artistic swimming is not incorrect either because that's what's. I mean, it is art, but Anyway, all right.
Okay, so Matt, wait. So this is this is Olympic sport or not an Olympic sport? And how many do you have? Do you have 7?
I got more than 7. I can. Let's just.
Okay, all right. Let's just go through the list. Let's see
I
how
just
many
keep
we can
going.
get right.
Yeah.
Let's cap it at 10. But Olympic sport or not, and this is for this year's games, so it could have been an
Yes.
Olympic sport previously, and maybe it's not in the games this year. So what is what is number 1 on your list?
Let's see. Number 1. Let's see. Roller speed skating.
Ooh, roller speed skating. Roller speed skating.
I'm voting no. I think we should bring Bisa in, by the way, so we have 3 votes. So Bisa, let's get Bisa in, so we have 3 votes, and then we'll have our collective vote will be our vote. So let's get Bisa on board.
I've actually roller skating has tried very hard to get into the Summer Olympics. They feel that there's artistic versions of it, like you see the ice dancing and all that stuff. So they've really worked hard at getting it in, and I know that the Olympic committees have been trying to get new sports in to get younger people involved. That's why you see some of the crazy sports going on now. I'm going to say there's a chance that at some point we've had speed roller skating.
No, it's not. It's not. It's not whether we've had it or not. It's
Oh,
whether
I
it's
thought it
this
was
year.
at some
It's-
point whether
Is
it
it
was.
this year?
This year.
This year.
Oh, this year? No, I don't think it is this year. I'm not sure. I don't think it is this year.
Bisa, you voting yes or no for it being in this year?
No.
Okay, so we're unanimously saying no.
Incorrect.
It is
Really?
in the Olympics.
It
Roller
is. Roller
speed
speed skating is in the Olympics.
Oh, that's awesome. If I'd have known, I might have asked for a transfer to that sport.
Yeah. Well, maybe they still hook you up, Coase. How many?
Yeah, I
days,
know.
how
I
many
know. There's
days-
still
how
time.
many days is badminton? How many days of coverage?
It is the first 2 weeks of the games.
Oh, so
And
you're there for so it's 2 full weeks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's every day for 2 weeks, and then I am done.
And you get the preloaded card with all the
You know what?
food.
It's even more amazing now. You just walk in and grab stuff.
They don't even
Like,
give
you
you a
don't even-
card, really? They don't make
Yeah.
you do the card thing?
Nope, nothing at all. It's all anytime you want to eat, there's food. You just go get it.
But by the way, you heard what happened the very first year that they had that facility open, which I'm assuming you were there, because they used to do it in New York, right? Did you ever do it
Yeah.
in New York? And they did
Yeah,
it
so
on
my
the
first
Saturday Night Live
Olympics-
set, right?
Yeah, we were on the set, and my office was, I believe I had Chris Farley's office because it was 08, so he had passed already, right? He had passed by that time. But it was, you knew whose offices were whose and all that. Daryl Hammond's office was to my left. That's the crew that we had. And I'm trying to think who was utilizing that office at that time. Oh, man, I'd have to go back. Fred Armisen. I think Fred Armisen was in the cast in that time, and I think that's who was in that office. Anyway, it was really cool because you literally walked from their offices down a tiny little, like 3-step little area doorway, and you walked right onto the set of Saturday Night Live. And you're standing there, you're thinking, I've seen this 1,000 times watching the show. It was really amazing. We're in Midtown Manhattan. We were going to work in the middle of the night because it was the Beijing Games of 08. So it was a wild time. It was a wild time. It was a lot of fun.
That's awesome. So but what I heard the first year that they moved it to Stanford.
Mm-hmm.
So, some people are there and they're only doing one sport, and maybe they wrap up after a week, and then they're on their way out, right?
Yeah, right.
And so they, previous to what you're talking about now, because the one year I did it, they gave you your ID card, but your ID card also was loaded with fake cafe money. So
Yeah,
you would
that's
go
true.
to the cafe and you would scan your card, and it would take it off of what your balance was for your food, and that's how you would eat. And what I had heard was that the first year they did it, because people are really, at the end of the day, a-holes. I'm sorry, but
Yes.
even people who are Olympic level announcers are not above being a-holes. I'm sorry to say.
Yep.
So what people were doing they were like, okay, I'm done. I'm on my way out. And they would still have $300 of a balance left on their food card for the cafeteria. So they would go up there, literally would be like a steak counter. And they'd be like, yeah, can I get 3 fillets? Yeah, no, don't cook them. Can you just wrap them for me? And
That's hilarious.
And they'd take the fillets home with them. Because
That's amazing.
Come on, really?
Well, wait a minute. Hang on. That's not necessarily an a-hole move. That's just being resourceful.
Can
they not make any more fillets?
You're clearly going above what the intent of the situation is. Okay,
Correct.
and now you're just going to create an issue for other people down the road. Come on. Really?
And they did, and they had to come up with a fix for that. Now, I will also tell you on the other side of that ledger, where not every Olympic broadcast person is an a-hole. We did have an assistant one year who, as the Olympics were winding down, she said, hey, we've got extra money in our cards. What if we all, on our last day, just decided to buy a bunch of things that are non-perishable and give them to a local food center?
Okay, now that's cool.
That's which I was like, wow, my mind doesn't even work that way. But I thought, all right, if that's what you want to do. So I took whatever if you had $27 left, maybe you bought some cereal, for the place or whatever it was. You'd buy little things that were non-perishable within the store, and then she had it all arranged where she was going to bring it over to a local shelter.
Amazing.
See? Not everyone's a bag person.
By the way, one other quick aside, a non-Olympic story from my one experience there, Coz. On a Saturday, I decided, you know what, I'm going to go to church. And, as a good Catholic boy,
Did you go to the John Paul II church, the Polish Catholic church?
I don't know what church it was. It was just whatever one was close, but I went to a Saturday night mass, Coz.
Yeah?
In and out, like 19 minutes.
What? Are you kidding me?
It was the fastest Catholic mass. It was like the priest was going so fast that I was like, does this guy have somewhere he's got to be?
Must have.
We love the Lord, but we got shit to do.
Yeah, exactly. The Lord wants me out into the world.
Yeah, he's like, let's say the Lord's Prayer. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. The kingdom of God. I was like, he was on Adderall or something, man. I'm telling you, it was
I'm
nuts.
going to that church because I've been to that. If it's the one that I went to, I know the church you're talking about. I'm going to go and check it out. I will time it for you when I'm there and see if they're
make sure
the same
you go to
priest
the Saturday.
is there.
It's got to be the Saturday evening mass.
I'll do the Saturday evening. You know what? I'm pro Saturday evening mass, man. That is a great mass to go to.
If God didn't, if God intended people to go to church on Sundays, he would make football a different day of the week, okay?
Well, football is every day of the week now, so that's kind of a moot point. But all right. So let's get back to it. We're 0 for 1 here, Matt. What's up next for our Olympic sport or not Olympic sport?
That was a good one, Matt. By the way, excellent job. So there is Olympic ice skating roller skating.
Yes.
You can't even remember it.
I know.
Oh man. All right. Next one. Steeplechase.
Yes.
Steeplechase is
equestrian. That's part of equestrian.
Oh, that's funny because I thought you were gonna the steeplechase, which is the 3,000-meter race run by the track and field guys.
Well, there is steeplechase. You're right. Yes, steeplechase of track and field.
Yeah, so I'm going to say yes on that as well.
Yes,
and that's probably my favorite race is this 3,000-meter steeplechase.
So, Bisa, are you with us?
Yeah, I guess I'll say yes since you guys are saying there are races that are called that.
Yep. There's such a thing.
Not this year, there's not.
No steeplechase.
What?
Wow,
What?
we're 0 for 2.
That's awesome. You are doing awesome on this, Matt.
Wow.
This might be your shining moment. We should do the show at 7 a.m. your time all the time.
Well, I don't think I'd be on board with that, but one day is okay. All right, next one. Ski mountaineering.
Ski mountaineering. I would say no.
Yeah, I'm going no.
I don't even know what that is. Ski mountaineering.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Although, you know
Lisa,
what?
what do you think?
It sounds made up enough that I don't think Matt – I'm going to rethink my vote.
Yeah.
I don't think Matt would be creative enough to come up with that on his own. I think that's got to be on the list. I'm saying yes.
Yeah.
Ski mountaineering is an Olympic sport.
Yeah.
I'm going to stay with no because skiing, although there is water skiing. Is there water skiing in the Olympics? It's ski mountaineering.
There's surfing.
Oh, yeah, there is surfing. I don't know. I'm saying the opposite of what Dave said.
But our group vote is yes, Matt.
You are correct. There is ski mountaineering this year.
We got one
What
right.
is ski mount? Can you explain what that sport is?
I'm looking it up. Ski uphill and downhill using mountaineering abilities to race through snow-covered mountains.
That doesn't make any sense that that's in the summer. We're sure this is in the Summer Olympics?
Or is this the upcoming winter in Torino?
No, this is
No, it's not in
Paris.
Torino. Where is it?
This is Paris 2024.
Wow. That's crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, they are really messing things up.
Okay. All right. Let's do 2 more. We've gotten 1 right, but it's kind of a confusing one. 2 more for us, Matt. What do you got?
I'm 0 for 3.
Let's see. Tug of war.
Yes.
Tug of war. I'm going no on tug of war. It's not. Battle of the Network Stars.
Jim.
Tug of war. I do believe this was a sport back in the old days, but I do not think that they're going to tug of war now. I do not think. I do think it was part of the early games, though. I'm
Okay,
going
so
no.
Okay, so we're going no. You are correct. There's not tug of war. However, Jim, you are also correct again. There was featured in the Olympics from 1900 to 1920 tug of war.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm on a two correct streak here.
You are.
Let's see if I can finish it with 3 in a row. Well, Matt, what's the final Olympic, non-Olympic sport?
Plunge for distance.
Plunge for distance?
Again, I'm defaulting to the I don't think Matt would make this up, so I'm going to say yes.
I'm going to say, well, that's. I like your, Dave, I like the way you've kind of weeded that out. But plunge for distance doesn't even, I'm going to say no. It doesn't even sound sporting.
I'll say yes, just because I know there are diving events, and isn't there some type of thing where like the triathlon where like you can be in the water and then you can do all this other stuff? So I'll say yes.
Yeah. There's a couple of sports like that. Yeah.
Not this year. There's not.
Oh, my
No
streak
plunge for
comes
death?
to an end.
No plunge for distance.
All right.
Was that a make-believe term, or is that actually a thing?
No, that's the thing. Now, everything I've said has been a thing at some point. Plunge for distance, 1904.
Wow.
1904. So
You know what? I would like for them to bring back some of the early games. I want a big tug-of-war festival.
How about and you know, I know we're off it now, but how about pistol dueling?
Woo. Not dueling. I think that might be a little strong for me.
Hey, Coach,
Dueling might be a little much.
Because the YouTube
The shooting sports are good.
The YouTube algorithm at my house, and the reason I brought up Battle of Network Stars, it actually brought it up for me the other night, and I sat and watched Battle of Network Stars. Robert Hatch, Catherine Bach. Catherine Bach was a baby. The Victoria Principal. That was some good stuff. Got to go.
Yeah,
back
exactly.
Howard Cosell calling it poolside from Pepperdine University.
That's outstanding.
Yeah. Battle of the Network Stars.
1906, pistol dueling was an official event in the Olympics. Who thought that would be a good idea?
Were they wearing Kevlar jackets? Like, what? How does that work? I don't know how that works.
I don't know. That's
all right.
Yeah, that does. I'd like to know how that worked. That would be interesting. I don't know if I'd want that one to come back.
I'm banking on somebody probably died at some point. That's why they don't have it anymore.
All right, listen, let's take our top of the hour break. When we come back, we got to get ordinary calls. We got to get into the mailbag because we're off the air in 23 minutes because Matt's got to get out to the airport. So we got to take a quick break. Back with the final segment of an abbreviated LFG after this.
Y'all ready for this?
What a shot by Happy Gilmore.
Drive it 400 yards.
He's a publicist's dream.
Happy Gilmore. He's been the talk of the course today with his huge drives and his amazing...
Hey, my girlfriend's dead, you know.
Don't worry. I won't tell anyone.
I've heard you've done some really interesting things here.
Hey, who's that?
Shooter McGavin.
You killed a golf legend.
You may be right, but our ratings are up and we're attracting new youthful sponsors. I'm sorry, Shooter. There's nothing I can do.
Guess I'll have to take care of this myself.
He's just threatened by you.
Congratulations, murderer.
You know, I know what you're doing right now, and I don't like it.
Let's do it. Hey.
Okay, we'll go on a date.
You gotta give me a big, fat kiss. You gotta pretend that you like it, too.
How's that nice girlfriend of yours?
Oh, she's dead.
You killed Bob Barker.
I know that, and I'm sorry.
Kick him off the tour.
That might be extreme considering the fact that our ratings were the highest that we've ever had.
I was on this tour for one reason, money. But now I got a new reason.
You're in big trouble, though, pal. I eat pieces of shit like you for breakfast. Listen, this call's about business.
Anybody I get close to dies. If I were you, I'd run.
it to me! You got that, baby? It ain't more where that came from, yeah! Shoot on that, baby! Oh, my God!
Somebody closer!
Get me out of here! You're gonna die, clown! Stay still!
We're having no more anything! Oh my God, power failure. It's getting very scary in here.
Live from the Tickscape Studios, let's f***ing go.
Welcome back. Final segment of an abbreviated Strange Day, Strange Time edition of LFG. But that's how we do it. We just do what we want. That's
Exactly.
kind
We
of
don't follow rules. Our slogan is No Rules Radio.
No Rules Radio. Yeah. At some point, we got to get rid of the TBSN logo, though. We all are good friends with Tony and wish him tremendous success in his new adventure. But the TBS thing did not last very long.
It did not. Super Bowl was fun, though.
It was short-lived. Super Bowl was fun, that's for sure.
He's not going to join us for the last 15 minutes of the show today?
Oh.
We could probably call him and get him to come on.
Oh, he'd come on.
Yeah.
He'd probably come on.
Yeah,
Hey, I've got one for you. I'm watching the coverage of this England game. So in less than 4 hours, England's going to play the Netherlands. Huge thing going on in Europe, and in the UK, everyone's just going nuts. And the reporter just sent it, the anchor from the studio just sent it to a reporter in Dortmund, where the game is going to be played. And they were talking to some fans, and the anchor in the studio said, "This is so exciting! I can't wait for it to start." Is that professional, or is that a good thing that they're a fan, or are they supposed to be? All right, thank you for the report in Dortmund. Now we turn our attention to, and then they go to something else. How do you like your anchors to be in a big game situation like this?
I mean, what's wrong with saying that you're excited? I think that's.
Was it a show? Was it a show? Was it like a pregame show? Was it pertaining to a game, or was this on the news broadcast?
So this is on their Sports Center, their version of a Sports Center. It's called Sky Sports News.
I got no problem with that.
And their anchor is saying how she's really jacked that the game's coming up soon. They're so excited for the fans. She said, "I wish I was there," and I like it. But I know a lot of places, like when we do the Olympics, we're not supposed to cheer for the USA.
Well, no, that's a different scenario. You're not cheering, but I think it would be totally fine for Mike Tirico to be like, "I can't wait to get these games started. It's going to be amazing." You're like,
absolutely.
What would be?
Right, but she's excited that England's in the game. She's there. She's like, "Oh, this is great. England is there. I wish I were there. Let's go in." That was more of her angle.
Wait a minute. When the Giants were winning World Series, when you guys were there and you guys were doing sports,
I was straight down the middle. Well,
but, true. Well, I don't.
No,
know,
I wasn't. You know what? I'm excited. I'm excited like anyone else.
There wouldn't be anything wrong if you guys said, that you're really excited for the World Series. Ted Griggs isn't going to call you and be like, "You shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't have been so excited."
Well,
no.
Ted Griggs is our old boss. He did tell me once if I found that my anchors were in public situations, like parties and stuff with athletes, that he would call them in and put an end to that.
Well, that's different. That's different. But
Well,
I guess
that never came into play for me because I wasn't exactly hanging out with those guys. Although in
No.
my younger years, But listen, Tim Lincecum didn't have any interest in hanging out with me back then.
I don't know.
Well,
Do you remember the fake Tim Lincecum? You know that there was a fake Tim Lincecum, right, Coast?
I do remember
the guy
that
looked just like him, and he would go out in the marina.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, wait, Jim. Question, because that got me thinking. The fact that Ted had that philosophy about anchors not partying with the athletes lets me know that happened at some point. Like who?
Well, that part I don't know. He just told me that we were in a meeting or some kind. And he said if I ever found that to be true, which is hard because sometimes you are in, let's say it's a fundraiser, right? And you happen to be there, and I happen to be at a place where Brian Sabian was. So Brian and I were having a glass of wine talking about something. Does that mean that I'm cavorting with someone I'm covering? Because I would have Brian on my show every other week. So, how do you interpret that? I think that's different, though. I think they're saying, hey, if you've got him on speed dial on your phone and you're hanging out at pick your San Francisco club, that's different than going to a fundraiser.
Yeah, don't be smoking it up with Timmy.
No.
Just
no.
All right. Listen, let's get into the mailbag because we've only got Matt's got 15 minutes left before he needs to be off the air. So we're gonna pick up. We're just gonna do one mailbag letter today, I think, and then we're gonna do ordinary calls. And I don't know if Matt had to get MF'd ready or not, but I'm gonna go ahead and read the letter because it comes into us. This was kind of a hot topic. I heard this was brought up again last night at a golf course in Doral. Dear LFG radio show team, I hope this letter finds you well and your golf swings smooth as buttered lightning. I recently heard your show. I recently have heard the bold claims from both President Donald Trump and President Joe Biden that they have single-digit golf handicaps, a single-digit handicap for both of them.
I love that.
I'm more inclined to believe that Bigfoot is working on his short game out in the Pacific Northwest. Mr. Trump, despite his well-documented love for golf, seems to have a penchant for what we in the business call creative scoring adjustments. As for President Biden, while I'm sure he brings a level of focus and determination to the course, I've yet to see photographic evidence of a backswing that would suggest a handicap below 30. I propose a friendly 18-hole match where the scores are kept by a neutral third party. Heck, I'll even volunteer for the job myself. We'll settle this once and for all and see whose handicap is truly in the single digits and whose might be as inflated as a well-known course in Mar-a-Lago. Yours in fairways, T. Kavanaugh. T. Kavanaugh. I believe that's the commissioner of the PGA Tour, Coase, chiming in.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
No longer Tim Fincham, who was the commissioner for years.
Know your commissioners.
Know your commissioners.
Know your golf commissioners.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm thinking neither one of them have a single-digit handicap.
No, and not to get political here, but I don't think that most American people really care if they do or not. I think we have bigger issues to
I think at the level those two play at, though, I think there are some people who do care.
You know what?
There's a level of elite out there that think, oh, that's a typical conversation.
I think you could get a rating to see them out on the golf course. I think that would be.
No, absolutely we could. That would be must-see television.
Honestly, you pay-per-view that bad boy. And that's gonna.
By the way, I got the name wrong. It's Jay Monahan, not Tim Kavanaugh. So Jay Monahan. I screwed up.
Well, then who's Tim Kavanaugh?
I don't know. It's somebody.
Who is this Kavanaugh you speak of?
Jay Monahan is your commissioner of the PGA Tour. Jay Monahan.
Brett Kavanaugh's on the Supreme Court. That's the only Kavanaugh I know.
I'm still upset that we have not heard from our UK reporter about the frenzied pace that's going on in England right now. Come on, man.
Yeah. Well, I'm not really sure what to make of all that. But
you've got to come on. You've got a direct line to our reporter.
Stay in this ballgame.
That the reporter you were talking about?
No,
damn.
You're talking about my real life. My
yes, your real life reporter.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure she's not interested in being on the show, so we don't need to go there. But the game tonight is big. What time is the game, Coase?
The game is at 12 noon Pacific time, 2 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. in the UK.
Who's favored?
We are a little less than 4 hours away from kickoff. And they started, when they say, I will say this about other countries. When they say a game starts at 8 p.m., it starts at 8 p.m. Not 8:10. There's not this 10-minute, let's go to the booth and have the announcers give you 10 minutes of garbage after you just heard another hour of garbage beforehand. They start when they say they're going to start.
Way to be self-deprecating, Coase.
Well, I'm just saying, get to the game. I always believe that's what they should do. You should always get to the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
All right. So,
Ordinary calls,
Matt,
right?
Ordinary calls. Let's get to ordinary calls.
All right. Well, in honor of soccer or football, as the loyal fans call it.
Wait, is this going to actually be ordinary today? Because you always try to do something extraordinary, and it's supposed to be ordinary.
I'll put I'll put a spin on it, and I'll make it ordinary, but
Okay.
I'll have it be sports related.
Okay.
Okay. So we're in a supermarket. We're in a supermarket in Essex, England. And
Oh, look at you.
you have you have two rival soccer fans. They're both wearing opposing jerseys, but they're just getting their groceries. And there's a big game tomorrow. Go.
Welcome to Sainsbury's here in Essex, England, and the Sainsbury's has a interesting thing at the door where you get a little scanner and you can scan your item as you put it into your cart, as opposing to scan it when you leave. So that's working out well because it's avoiding these fans from rival soccer fan bases, Coast, to have to interact with each other at the checkout, but they're still getting a little chippy in the aisles.
Sure, they are. But, Dave, how does a Sainsbury compare to a Loblaws that I know you have an intimate knowledge of? How would you compare those two?
I'm not familiar with the Loblaws, but I do
Wasn't that the place you used to work? Didn't you have a career at Loblaws?
Wegmans.
Oh, Wegmans.
Yes.
Loblaws is a Canadian version. How does it compare to Wegmans?
In any case, Coz, we're missing out on some great action here. I've just seen an English fan walking down the aisle, and he has bumped into someone who was wearing a Netherlands jersey intentionally with the cart, and now the person who was backing the Netherlands has thrown a bag of chips directly in the face of the English fan. And
I believe they call them crisps.
Yeah,
I believe they call them crisps.
Yes,
Dave.
and now the English fan is grabbing for the salsa. Oh, he's broken the bottle of salsa over his head.
Oh, my goodness. This is becoming ugly, and it's becoming ugly fast. And these Netherlands fans, they typically are not very boisterous, and they're not ones to get up in your nugget. But right now they are, and I think that they understand the importance of what's going on today, and they want to take it to the supermarkets as well, not just to the fevered pitch. They want to take it to the supermarkets. And so let's see if the Netherlanders can hold their own against these these English soccer hooligans.
And now a crowd is gathered here in aisle 7. Everybody is blocked off the entrances to aisle 7, and now it is just one-on-one. There are 3 people representing the Netherlands. There are 4 people representing the UK, and it is an all-out war right now, Coz. Fists are flying, kicks are happening, and things are being thrown.
And the English are really being rude because they're calling the Netherlands Holland. And as we all know, that's just a region of the Netherlands. To call them Holland is to call America California. And we all know that that would be the scum.
Yeah,
I don't even know what that means.
It's not looking pretty that they would be the scum.
Yes. Exactly.
I don't know what it means either, but the bottom line is this thing is getting ugly, and no, somebody's bleeding, Coz. Oh, no, there's just more salsa. Somebody's got the ketchup. Now they're spraying ketchup.
That was a good line.
What the ketchup is doing in the chip aisle is beyond me. Or the
Well, there
crisp
are
aisle.
ketchup chips, in Canada, which is a territory of England, Dave. So maybe they're trying to add those two together and make a new flavor for some of the locals, but it's only getting their cockles. They're only getting their cockles up.
Now, wait
Isn't
a minute.
cockles
wait a minute,
a phrase?
Wait a minute, Coz. Hold on. We interrupt that because now it appears David Beckham has just made his way into the aisle. And David Beckham is being the voice of reason. He's asking everybody, can we not please just all get along and go watch the football game as fans who love this beautiful game?
Oh, my goodness. Somebody just threw something at David Beckham.
That is terrible because Bex is my man. I love my Bex. I love me some Bex. But I don't know if I can add any more to this.
And now, speaking of Canada, there's some guy in a Canadian jersey talking about how great Canada was during the World Cup, and he's got some maple syrup, and he's not afraid to use it. Oh my goodness, there's maple syrup everywhere.
There's a Canada guy in the aisle
Yes.
of Sainsbury's?
I
All right.
know, it's
Yes.
weird.
Yes.
This has truly turned into an international thing, considering the games are being played in Germany, by the way.
I know.
So this is quite the showing here for the Netherlands and Canada. Next thing you know, you'll tell me there'll be somebody wearing a Team USA jersey, Matt. Is there anybody with a USA jersey in sight?
There is not. There is not. This is strictly a non.
They would all turn on the USA fan. That's no question about it. Bisa may show up in this because nobody works harder during the show than Bisa. She just keeps chiming in with things, so Bisa could end up in the aisle.
Yeah, Bisa's the only one that's actually sending us actual real sports content into the show today.
I know. She's like, why are you guys doing a show? I've sent you thousands of topics over the last 2 weeks, and you're talking about, whatever. What were we talking about earlier? Oh, you're talking about Roswell.
It's early, man. I don't know. It's way too early.
And there it is. There's the bell. There's the final bell. I believe the battle in the aisle has been over.
Yes.
They're going to walk away. Get this, guys. This shocking development, but it's ending in a draw. It is a draw between the two. And,
yeah, I know. a shocking soccer development. A fight with two fan bases ends in a draw.
You know, with the different ways that the world can end and reasons the world can end in the apocalypse, having a tie in sports might be one of the reasons for the apocalypse. Because, damn it, in America, we don't have ties, okay? That's just insensitive, and it's insulting to our sensibilities to have a tie in a sport for an outcome.
Yeah.
Breaking news from Bisa. Giannis and how do you say his name?
Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Yeah, he will be the flag bearer for Greece at the upcoming games.
He will. He's going to be in
but-
the games. They won their qualifier, so that was big.
Took down Luka.
By the way, did you see
Stat stuffer Luka?
Team USA almost got upset in their scrimmage against the select team the other day. This kid who's going to be a freshman at Duke next year was lighting them up. I forget his name, but he was lighting them up. And he was the only player on the select team that has not played in the NBA.
Yeah, and he's 17 years old. Like you said, he'll be a freshman at Duke. And the hottest player at this Euro Cup 2024 is a 16-year-old kid who turns 17 on Saturday, and the final is on Sunday. So the youth are now taking over the globe, Dave. Our time is done.
Our time is done.
By the way, there is some, breaking news. Not that this is going to influence the outcome of the Team USA, but Kawhi Leonard is withdrawing from Team USA.
He is?
Yes.
Wow.
Hot take.
How about
well,
that?
you know what? Maybe Caitlin Clark will take his place.
By the way, we didn't get to the big news. There was a letter in the mailbox, but I had to keep it abbreviated because of our time. And Matt, I know you got to get off the air here in a minute or two. So, Matt, real quick, how are you feeling inside? Are you okay, Matt? Are you okay? Because I know Klay Thompson going to Dallas. I know that probably.
I was afraid to bring this up.
up.
Oh, you had to do it.
Do you have a comfort pet nearby? Some bubbles, coloring books?
You know what? I'm not going to be sad. I'm just going to be happy that the memories happened. Gave us 4 championships. Nice guy. I met him a number of times, and but very sad. And you know what? Just from a business standpoint, it doesn't make sense to me. It's reported the Warriors offered him $24 million a year for a couple of years, so that's $48 million. He took 3 years, $50 million from the Mavericks. I get it; it's an extra year, but really, I mean, that
doesn't seem well. Again, you have no state tax in Texas, and you have a bunch of taxes in California. I wonder how that money in the end plays out. I wonder how the math works on those two things.
Well, I mean, he might look in. I'm sure he looked and he saw, okay, the Mavericks, made a run, and maybe he can contribute to that. Maybe get himself one more ring. It's not out of the question that obviously Dallas has a brighter future than Golden State. Obviously, they do at this point, but I do think Golden State has some tread left on the tires. But yes, I'm very sad.
Dude,
well, hold on.
I don't even think the Warriors are a playoff team this year.
Oh, stop it.
This leads us to question, are you now of the belief that all 3 of the big 3 will eventually be wearing different uniforms when their career is said and done?
Yes for Draymond Green, no for Steph Curry. Steph will be a Warrior for life.
You think so?
Yes.
I would say that the betting favorite in Vegas is definitely that, but would I say it's a lock? I don't know that I'd say it's a lock.
I'm not necessarily saying it's a lock. I just really believe that that's a more likely than not outcome.
Let's ask Drew if that's a good value pick to say that Steph will wear another NBA jersey.
Yeah, I mean, I think in today's world of sports, anything is a possibility. I mean, shoot, Jordan finished his career as a Wizard. I mean, there's no guarantees in this world.
No, and Steph actually said exactly that. He said, it's crazy how fast things change, which kind of freaked me out for a minute. But I really think that the powers that be, Mike Dunleavy and Joe Lacob and Peter Guber, will move heaven and earth to make sure that Steph always stays a Warrior.
Nice.
All right. Interesting if that happens.
All right. Well, listen, we're at the 8:30 mark. Matt, I know you got to get out to the airport, so we're going to sign off. And next week, Coz, I don't know if you could do the show on Friday next week, but that would be the best day for me next week.
All right, we'll take a look at the old schedule. What is? Oh wait, next week Friday? No, wait, this week Friday. This week I'm flying to Chicago.
Yeah, no,
next week, what's the date the week after?
Gosh, I don't know.
21st?
25th.
The 25th? No, it's not the 25th. We're not that deep into July. All right.
Yeah, you said the week after next.
No.
Well, wait,
next week. Then next week could be the 19th.
There's a chance I could do that. I don't leave for my Olympic stint until the 23rd or 24th.
Nice.
So
Okay.
there's a chance.
Okay.
You're telling me there's a chance next Friday.
Next Friday. Then
You guys liking that morning time slot? You guys big fans?
I'd like to slide back into our regular time slot.
Ooh.
Maybe we
I
could
love
do-
the early start.
Maybe we do like 9 Pacific, like 9 to 11. So I'd be 11 to 1 for you, Coz. Would that be a little better?
That might be. It could be. That's negotiable.
This is gonna be a long day for me. I'm gonna be drunk by like.
Dude,
7.
what time do you guys get up? You guys are grown-ups. You guys should be getting. I get up at 5:30.
I got up at 5 today.
Attaboy. You should be getting up. Did you work out? What'd you do?
No, I didn't work out yet. No, I was supposed to have a Zoom call that got canceled. So, and then I started
For the side hustle? For your side hustle?
Yeah, for the side hustle. Yeah. So anyway, all right. We leave you with the physical remix. I'm gonna let you guys listen to it. I'm gonna tell you that you guys know who this singer is, and I'm gonna let you guys. I'll tell you guys later who it is. But we got to get to the actual vocal.
Is it my girl?
No.
My girl, who's your girl?
No. Well, maybe. It's the other one.
What?
Hold on. We're not on a vocal part now. I got to get to. Let me jump ahead.
Yeah, let's go.
Here
man.
we go.
Is it Bisa?
It was the person who was supposed to be the original third co-host of the show.
Well, I was going to be my second guess.
Yeah.
What is she doing there? What's that?
It's a long story. But,
Is that was that karaoke somewhere?
No, it's not karaoke. That's like legit.
She went into a studio and recorded this.
It sounds good, doesn't it?
It does sound good.
Anyway,
Is,
that's why.
is that her new career?
Today.
How many careers? She what does she do? She
What is she
prices
not
horses.
doing? Just does everything.
Yeah, she prices horses. She's the publicity person for an up-and-coming, what was he, a rap star or something? Remember the kid that you had on from the Super Bowl?
Yeah, the rapper Christian.
Yeah, she does that. Now she's a singer of Euro trash disco beats.
Yeah, she's got her hands in a lot of things. She's a
Wow.
hey, it's all about diversity and what's the word? Yeah, I mean not diverse.
You need
what do they call
multiple
when
income sources.
And when your investments, diversify your investments. That's what it is. Diversify your investments. So anyway, all right. On that note, Matt Fowler, I know you got to get to the airport. Coz, I'm glad that you're not getting hit by Hurricane Beryl or Tropical Storm Beryl or whatever it is. And,
although, boy, there are some places that are just getting pummeled.
Yeah. Well, thankfully that's not us. So, all right, I will talk to you guys next week, and we'll hopefully have a show on Friday, and enjoy your time off, Matt Fowler.
All right.
See you guys.
Bye.
Peace. Oh, thank you to Bisa, by the way. We don't want to leave
She's
without
the
saying
best.
thank you to Bisa.
Still the best member of the crew.
All right, talk to you guys later.